Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it be...
Good evening. Welcome to the Voice of the West Elocution Contest. You will hear more about it later in the program, but this is the 20th year that the Rotary Club has offered a venue for the Cayo District High School students to demonstrate their public speaking abilities and to express their views and opinions on topics near to their heart. The pandemic caused the Rotary clubs of the Cayo District to rethink how we did this elocution contest. Through creative thinking and the strong support of our community businesses, last year's production proved to be a success and also proved to be enjoyed by more people. We feel that we have improved the production of the Voice of the West Elocution Contest and therefore now invite you to sit back and relax and listen to our youth and what they have to share that's on their heart. To start this exciting evening, I've written a prayer that I'd like to share with you. Dear Lord, we are thankful for the Cayo District clubs that have persevered in keeping this 20-year tradition called Voice of the West alive. We're also thankful for all of the students that have stepped forward to demonstrate their creativity and to boldly express their views, and for the many high schools that have supported these students. Since this event was filmed, the students have already been covered with prayer. Therefore, tonight we pray that those viewing this production will enjoy this elocution contest, but more importantly, that they will listen to the views of the youth of our nation and the future leaders of our nation. We also pray that something spoken tonight will inspire those listening to step forward to assist the Rotary clubs, but more importantly, the nation of Belize in supporting our schools in their efforts to provide the academic education as well as developing the social skills for the future leaders of our country. At this time, we also lift up the country of Belize to you, Heavenly Father, asking that you guide us through an economic recovery so desperately needed due to the impact of the pandemic. We thank you for your love and the many, many blessings that you bestow on us daily. We pray these things in the name of our Son and Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. Now we're going to take time to honor our country with the singing of the national anthem by Shanye Garnett. Please enjoy.
O land of the free by the Carib Sea, our manhood we pledge to thy liberty. No tyrants here linger, despots must flee this tranquil haven of democracy. The blood of our sires which hollows the sod brought freedom from slavery, oppression's rod. By the might of truth and the grace of God, no longer shall we be hewers of wood. Arise, ye sons of the Baymen's clan, put on your armor, clear the land, drive back the tyrants, let despots flee. Land of the free by the Carib Sea. Nature has blessed ye with wealth untold, o'er mountains and valleys where prairies roll. Our fathers, the Baymen, valiant and bold, drove back the invaders this heritage hold. From proud Rio Hondo to old Sarstoon, through Coral Isle over Blue Lagoon, keep watch with the angels, the stars and moon, for freedom comes tomorrow's noon. Arise, ye sons of the Baymen's clan, put on your armor, clear the land, drive back the tyrants, let despots flee. Land of the free by the Carib Sea.
Listeners and viewers locally, nationally, and internationally, I feel very honored and privileged to welcome all of you to Rotary's 20th Annual Voice of the West competition for secondary school students in the Cayo district. This competition gives students the opportunity to showcase their writing and speaking skills and their creativity. Making education work for Belize requires the collaboration of many key stakeholders such as our students, teachers, parents, managing authorities, the business community, and organizations such as Rotary, Rotaract, and Interact. The annual Voice of the West competition underscores Rotary's all-encompassing commitment and dedication to education in Belize. This I know firsthand through my interaction with the organization as the Principal Education Officer and Education Center Manager for the Cayo District since 2016, and when I had served in the Corozal District from 2013 before reaching the best in the West. Congratulations on your 24 years of service as a club in the West. I am sure that 2023 will be very grand as you celebrate your silver anniversary. I pray that you keep growing from strength to strength and that you continue to positively impact our school communities and the wider communities. The Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology is truly grateful. To all our participants, while we are cognizant that this is a competition, I implore you to relax and relish the experience. I implore you to make everyone proud, including your family, your school, so that we all beam with pride. You can do all of this because is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it bring goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? That's the Rotary four-way test. Best of luck to all of you and enjoy. Thank you.
A warm welcome from Western Belize. Thank you for joining us for the annual Voice of the West competition for high school students in the Cayo district. Tonight, for the 20th year in a row, they are showcasing their talent, creativity, and very importantly, their speaking skills. Please allow me to introduce this year's judges. I will also share with you how the competition works and how the performances will be assessed. Our three judges are our head judge, Mrs. Isaura Williams. She is retired, having held the position of Education Officer in the Cayo District. She has volunteered as a judge for this event for several years and has now joined the Rotary Club of San Ignacio. Ms. Deborah Macmillan, Professor at Galen University, and Mr. Kerm Timbrell, who is chairman at the Global Leadership Network in Belmopan. He has a degree in electrical and mechanical engineering. To the judges, thank you for volunteering your time to work with us on this event. Each student will be judged on their performance using the same scoring process for each category. The scoring is from 1, low, to 5, high, for each of these criteria: effectiveness, eye contact, articulation, gestures, and inflection. For original works, such as poems and persuasive speech, originality is also included as a measure. The respective schools have received these rules when they were invited to join the competition. The judges will individually score each student, and those scores will then be tabulated to arrive at the final cumulative score for each student. The students with the highest scores will win the first, second, and third place cash prizes, being $300 for each first place winner, $200 for second place winners, and $100 for third place. The first place winner will also take home a trophy for their school. We will safely deliver the prizes to the students and schools tomorrow. The audience may not be able to see this, but timing lights are being used to assist the students to remain within the 4 minutes maximum for each performance. When the student starts their presentation, the green light goes on. At the 3-minute mark, the timer turns to yellow, indicating that they have 1 minute left. At 4 minutes, the red light goes on, and the student must stop speaking immediately if they haven't finished their speech. We have 20 students competing in our 3 categories. The first is original poem, where the student has written and performs their own work. The second category is for students doing a published poem or excerpt written by someone else but performed by the student. The third category is called persuasive speech. The students create their speech to share their opinions with the goal of persuading us up to their views.
Good evening, everyone. I am Mrs. Beatriz Landero. I am the HOD for the Language Department in Eden High School. Along with the department, we've worked hard. We've enjoyed every moment we've had preparing students for Voice of the West. And today we're going to be sharing some of that experience that they had with me.
Hi, my name is Ethan Landero, and I have had the opportunity to participate twice in the Voice of the West. The first time I was privileged to win first place in the category of a persuasive speech. And this year I have also challenged the persuasive speech. And this experience has really taught me a lot, and it has helped me and motivated me into expressing myself a little more. With the cash prize, the first time I was able to buy things I needed and at the same time help my parents.
So, hi, my name is Kaya Flowers, and I was able to participate in the persuasive speech category of the Voice of the West. This experience was life-changing for me. It was amazing to be able to express myself in writing and being able to address issues affecting young people across Belize like me. With the cash prize that I received, I was able to take out my family, for a little treat, along with helping 2 families in my neighborhood who I saw needed help.
My name is Melbourne McLaren. I participate in the recital poem. The experience was really fun and really, like I said, life-changing. The cash prize really helped me and my family because I get to treat them and treat myself with the things I need. So I encourage other students to participate in the Voice of the West.
My name is Adrian Harris. I had an opportunity to participate in the Voice of the West. However, I had a few challenges to learn and get my act together. But however, I ended up with a successful first place win with the original poem named Belize My Land. It was a very nice experience going out there, performing, showing my emotions at the moment. The cash prize was very good at the end because it helped me to buy a little things and helped me to pay a little for my school.
You can find the program for this entire event online at the link on the screen for an easy download. Thank you once again for joining us and sharing how talented and articulate our Cayo students are. Enough from me. It is time we let the students speak for themselves. Here's Brendan to introduce the first category.
Good evening, everybody, and hello to the Voice of the West students, faculty, friends, and family. I'm Brendan O'Donoghue, the president of the Rotary Club of San Ignacio, and I've been a member of Rotary for 4 years now. And it continues to be a blessing and a wonderful, fulfilling experience in my life. Our first category today is original poems. We have 9 students who have composed and written their own poem to compete in this category. Each student has 4 minutes to complete their presentation. I would like to thank each of you for participating in this competition. You are an inspiration to all your family and friends, and I wish you all the best in the competition. And thank you for joining us at Rotary.
My name is Charlene Gomez. I'm from Second Farm. My school is Baptist High School. I will be presenting a poem based on current society. Current society is becoming a norm. Mothers crying and young children dying. It's becoming a norm. No one's getting convicted. The economy is failing, so people are getting evicted. It breaks my heart to see a child go without food. It breaks my heart to see a child die at the hands of another child. It breaks my heart to see the cycle of violence repeat itself. We as a society have fallen off from the discipline we used to have. We as a society have failed. I'm not to blame, and neither are you. We are all to blame. We're facing a problem that we instigated. Now, we're upset with the result of what we have created. Our duplicity is affecting our consistency as a result. Our growth is slowly trickling into a vault. Everything moral we stand for is slowly coming into a halt. The white man is telling the black man, it's your fault. And the black man is telling the white man, it's your fault. Currently, we as a society have fallen out from the discipline we used to have. We as a society have failed. I'm not to blame, and neither are you. We are all to blame. Our ancestors fought hard to make our freedom a reality. So why are we conforming to our vanity? Our ancestors demonstrated the true meaning of bravery. Currently, we as a society have single-handedly given into mental slavery. Now, we need to embrace the ideology of a speedy recovery. In summary, overcome evil with love so we can all live in harmony. Let's make a change. Let's make a difference. Let's go down in history. Thank you.
My name is Ruth Barrera. I am from Baptist High School, Second Firm. I will be reciting my poem, A Crying Soul. Sitting alone in a dark, cold room, knowing the nightmare will come soon. The walls were her protectors, but they gave up and let him in. That's when the pain began. Not her trembling lips, nor her watery eyes stops him from hurting a faultless child. He hurts her more than words could ever. Nobody should know, he said as he cleaned his mess. Not even your mother, she'll blame you for it. Words that keep repeating on her head every time she wants to be heard. 5-year-old was this little child with dark brown eyes and brown curls. Her innocence was taken by her beloved Gramps. A painful, unforgettable night that will follow her for the rest of her life. These scars never disappeared. Even as an adult, she lives with fear. Those were meant to be protectors provoked in her mistrust. She had set boundaries that isolate her from the rest. Even love is questioned and rejected as a threat. Don't overlook the hints. Don't miss the signs. There's a child out there whose silences his cry. She sees the ghost and fears it with fear. And it hurts her so much that he was to be his knight. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Omari Ali Allen. I am from Third Farm. I am from Valley of Peace SDA Academy. I'll be starting off with my poem. It's called Have You Heard? Have you stopped to hear what's going on? Rumors of war, or are you denying what's going on? When the darkness of night is gone. Oh wait, did you hear that? A land of agony and in pain, trying to survive this deadly pain. Houses falling apart because of these wars. Parents are crying. Their children are dying. People losing their loved ones and their houses. And you are here complaining that you want to live big. Hasn't God given you enough? Slowly, I'm admitting that our world is falling into despair, slowly killing the soil that we walk upon, and slowly it shall perish. I'm hearing those lost children screaming in despair and in anguish. Can't you hear it too? Weeping in tears, not knowing what's happening. Take the time to see what surrounds you. Seeing them seeking shelter because of the crisis, they are at a turning point. And innocent people fleeing from their countries, not knowing if it's the last glance of their family faces. Children seeking their parents and leaving their home ones. All of this for what? A piece of land? Please hear my plea. Save our home, save our air, save our life, and save our earth. God will that His hostility comes to an end. Take a deep breath and appreciate the gift your life have. That's all, and thank you.
Hi, my name is Elijah Jimenez. I am 14 years old. I'm Fort Farmer and studying at Alvin L. Young. So my poem is New Life by Elijah Jimenez. Why did it have to be you? I wish this wasn't true. Oh, son of mine. My life went from sunshine to thundering clouds. My life is breaking down. I don't have a life to live. It's hard for me to forgive. How many times I warned you? I told you to look at the clues, but you preferred easy money than 8 hours working, my dear Ronnie. You left us with our souls broken. Your mom looks like she has been frozen. I wish to wake up from this dream. Our world went dim. I will always hold you in my heart. I wish nothing would have set us apart. A child that loses his parents is an orphan. A woman that loses her husband is a widow. But can anyone tell me what's the name of a parent that loses a child? There's no name. It's just too much pain. My life has been a battle every day, but there's only one way. I have to stand on God's promises. The only thing He asks is to be submissive. We want a change. So let's be the change in middle of the people's rage. If no one loves you, God will always do. With Him you will sleep with no worries, and you won't repeat the same stories.
I'm Marini Gongora, a third former at Mount Carmel High School, and I'll be reciting my original poem, Spirited Children. Kids are dying every day, and mothers are crying every day. So how can we look their parents in the eyes with no justice? But even justice won't bring the innocent back. So if there is a God, please spare the children and take them to a better place where guns aren't pointed to their faces. This talk won't bring them back either. All this killing for the power you shouldn't have. All this for simple revenge. But what happens when we come back with the vendetta in our hearts, absorb every ounce of our rage, and wait till we give you back the pain that you have given? And I won't lie, I'm scared to die with the gun in my face. And I won't lie, I'm scared to die feeling death breathing behind my collarbone. And I won't lie, I'm scared to die knowing you did not spare another child. But when the time comes, will I have the chance to plead? Rivers of blood, pools of tears, a cocktail of names, and a graveyard with children you chose not to spare. An eye for an eye every time. But if this were the people's priorities, the whole world would be left blind, even the innocent. It's always the innocent who get caught in the crossfire of your war. You have taken the lives of too many, but we still remember their names. Laddie Gillett, Shamar Nicholas, Quayne Williams, Shireen Cardenas, Jameer McCoy, Lloyd Myvitt, Michael Henry, Nicanor Furman, Dwayne Gabriel. We're still mourning, and we will never mourn in peace until justice has been served. Now tell me, you feel the same chills I get when people cry their children's names. Laddie Gillett, Shamar Nicholas, Quayne Williams, Shireen Cardenas, Jameer McCoy, Lloyd Myvitt, Michael Henry, Nicanor Furman, Dwayne Gabriel. Kids are dying every day, and mothers are crying every day. So how can we look their parents in the eyes with no justice? But even justice won't bring the innocent back. So if there is a God, please spare the children and take them to a better place where guns aren't pointed to their faces. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anthony Cruz. I am a third form Eden student, and I will be reciting an original poem for you guys today. The title of my poem is The Power of the Flowers. Delicate like a flower, but strong with concealed superpowers. A woman, a young boy's hero, usually looked down upon like if she was a zero. Why do we look down at her? If it weren't for her, we wouldn't be here and have all we hold so dear. Let's love her, respect her, and care for her today before she forever goes away. And those who have lost her could tell you the pain was hard to bear. Frail like a jasmine, forced to be a perfect princess her entire life, not being able to show her true colors. A woman's act of being a lady almost never uncovers. Mistreated, abused, which left her petals broken. Now, her new spirit has awoken. Like a phoenix, she rises from her ashes to power, and men cower before her every hour. The beauty is no longer in distress, but a strong warrior ready to fight the beast known as society. Knowing this thought will give men tremendous anxiety. Strong like a blue iris women are, and with their learned experiences, they will reach very far. No more pretty, perfect princesses, only strong female warriors who will never stop at any barrier. Queenly like the purple aster, she now ruling has mastered. Oh, sorry, you're confused. She now ruling has mastered. Sitting in the throne a woman now is. She's learned to be strong, and her reign she will no longer prolong. A king a man could be, but he will watch his reign fall to a queen as easy as 1, 2, 3. Frail and delicate like a flower, but watch how sexism she will overpower. This poem was dedicated to all the women across the world who suffered from not being treated as equal, for suffer abuse and have been mistreated their lives. Thank you.
My name is Shahida Hagar. I am a second former in St. Ignatius High School. My beloved Belize, from past to present, it is amazing to see how the lives of our forefathers differ immensely to the current situation we live in today. From a time when the people of this nation could have slept in their homes with their doors wide open, while fearing for their lives or property, to a time when we see communities living in fear, self-incarcerated in what they call homes with steel windows or doors, watching over their shoulder. From a time when the people knew the meaning of brotherly love and when living in small towns felt like living in an extended family where everyone knew each other and mannerism was instilled from a very young age. To a time where we now see communities, to a time where neighbors are now enemies fighting for material things without realizing that there are more important things in life. So young people passing by their elders without saying a simple good morning, thank you, or please. From a time when children played in the dirt with simple things like marbles, jacks, or police and prisoners. To a time where technology has now taken over and children are now engaged in all sorts of gadgets. From a time when a family sat around the table to say grace before meals and have that family bonding, to a time when people are now busy in their own world. Parents work while children left behind to fend for themselves in neighborhoods where they are engaged in illicit activities. Fear not, my beautiful Belize, for today's reality can be reversed. To reflect our past, if all of us do our part as a nation, to continue the legacy of our forefathers by instilling those much needed values and principles to restore our beloved country, my beloved Belize.
It is a pleasure to be able to share a few words concerning the voice of the West. Ever since I came over to San Ignacio, to Eden High School in Santa Elena, to be the principal, as 18 years ago, I met the Rotary Club in this wonderful program, The Voice of the West. The Voice of the West has awakened in our students their talents, their abilities that perhaps were dormant or they did not realize they had it. But by exposing them to these elocution contests, persuasive speech, college poems or original poems, these students have been able to demonstrate their potential. We are very grateful for the successes. Many times our school, Eden High School, has come in first or second or third, but in the majority of the cases, they have been in first place in the different categories. Our students have benefited tremendously of this. One, like I said earlier, in developing their skills, and second, the prizes that are given to them, the plaques that are given to them, and especially the monetary prizes that are given to them. You know, these students come of very low socio-economic background, and so to get $200 or $300, they do wonders with that for their own educational purposes. So we thank you, Rotary Club and all its members, for having this program for the benefit of our students. God bless you always.
Thank you, Rotary, for creating the Voice of the West. We like to speak our minds and hearts. From Eden Secondary Adventist High School. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship?
Thank you, Rotary, for creating Voice of the West. We love to speak our hearts and minds.
Hello from Benque. I am Dorita Pineda, Chair-elect of the Rotary Satellite Club of San Ignacio Benqueviejo, a young club established in 2019. I have been a Rotarian for 3 years, and I love being part of the Rotary family in Cayo and Belize. For an easy download, you can find a program for the entire event online. Our second category is published poem or excerpt, and we have 7 students competing in this category. Thanks for joining us tonight and cheer up our students. Thank you.
My name is Davison Cartagena. I am in second form and I am currently attending Belmopan Comprehensive School. I will be sharing a poem named Soul by Eliel Vasquez. The soul, an abyss or a bright green plain, an endless blue sky or vast empty sea, a home for the weary, the weak, a fortress for the strong, full of belief, a form of escape from the heart, yet the heart a key part to play, a tough, rigid, and immovable spirit, yet a soft, fickle piece to sway. It's simple, yet complicated, stubborn, yet free, like good or bad, right or wrong. It lays the foundation of who you ought to be. When you search for it, it hides. But when you're desperate of it, it bursts. You're not burdened by it, yet it can bring out your worst.
My name is Adriana Henry, and I am a first form student at Our Lady of Guadalupe High School. Today, I will be sharing a poem to you by Sahil Handa. History is going to be made by me. My hands will write a new revolution. I will make a difference. Time will definitely bring me what I deserve. Nothing can keep me away from the treasure that is supposed to be for me solely. All agonies, pains, excruciations, tortures will vanish soon. It's nothing new. Everyone has to appear in some trials somewhere. Life is trying on me right now. So what? Strenuous efforts of mine will invoke. Oh, wait. I messed up.
Just continue.
Just continue? Okay. Strenuous efforts of mine will invoke elixir of life. No opportunity is going to be missed again. Torments and suffering will no longer able to distract me anymore. The all-new sun is waiting to rise. Faith, belief, and trust will be my bosom allies. The Almighty is going to bestow grand festal feats on me. My life will soon be a cynosure of mirth and festivities. Joyous diversions will hail and prevail. Moribundity and dreadful storms will be a talk of bygone era. A new me will be born. History is going to be made by me. My hands will write a new revolution. I will make a difference. Time will definitely bring me what I deserve. Nothing can keep me away from the treasure that is supposed to be for me solely.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, and my name is Casey Castro. I am from Valley of Peace Seventh-day Adventist. I am in third form business, and I will be saying a poem written by
Is it on the paper?
Yes, but I forgot the author.
Just go ahead.
Okay. Never trust a mirror. Never trust a mirror. For a mirror always lies. It makes you think words that can be seen from outside. It only shows you what's skin deep. You can see how eyelids flutter. When you're drifting off to sleep, it doesn't show you what the world sees. When you are only being you, or how your eyes just light up. When you're allowing what you do, it doesn't capture when you're smiling, where no one else can see, and your reflection cannot tell you everything you mean to me. Never trust a mirror, for it only shows your skin. And if you think that it dictates your worth, it's time you look within.
Thank you.
My name is Mabel Galdames. I am from Valley of Peace SD Academy. I am going to be presenting a published poem. Love Yourself by Julie Martinez. Stop and think for a minute. Think about how you view yourself. Think about the main words you would use to describe yourself. Make a list of all the negative qualities you have, and then make a list of all the positive qualities you have. One of the saddest things in humankind is that people can make a longer list of negative qualities as opposed to positive qualities, right? Well, that's where most of us go wrong. We see a reflection in a mirror, we hear words of negativity, and we think bad thoughts about ourselves, and it never ends. The criticism only leads us to self-hatred, and which only leads us to a poor lived life. Stop and think of who you are, because if you stop and think of who you are, because if you don't, can I have a minute? The criticism only leads us to self-hatred, and which only leads us to... Have you helped an elderly or homeless person before? How many times do you compliment someone a day? Do you help your little sister with her homework? How many times? Have you helped the community in any way? Although these are actions that go unnoticed and without thought. These little things are what define you as a person, not your height, not your weight, and definitely not a false portrayal of your self-image. Because if you don't love yourself, then who really will? Done.
Hello, my name is Iva Marie Herbert. I am 13 years old and I am in second form in the school of Alvin L. Young Nazarene High School. I am the hope of Belize by Monica and Edith Hua. Is Belize my country? Am I Belize? 1981 has abandoned us and never returned, sailing away from a distance while the dark surge swallows another child into our sea. I cannot stand on this ground knowing that my comfort means that 2 children from the Toledo district has been missing for 11 years. Anelia and Benjamin, pure and soft, warm smiles that now turned into a cold case. Case closed, but justice never opened. People forgot and left while the children never returned. Does my safety mean that a 14-year-old boy in Placentia was shot by the police? thinking the police would have our backs, but instead, they just shoot it. They starve for bodies while the government keeps their pockets full. Is Belize my family, my school, my church, and my community? Families broken, fathers leave, others love their children with clenched fists instead of open arms. Grandmother sitting in the church, her prayers superseded by the terror she nurses every time the bloodthirsty gang snatches another youth who used to sing in the choir. Each night, mothers count their sons. And in the morning, when some do not survive to be counted, they count the bullets left in their bodies. Southside teens just hand a gun to the new neighbor's kid to do their work. I tried, Belize. I tried to love this country, but I took one look at the river and plumped up the body of a man after woman after children. Am I the hope of Belize? Oh, my hope of Belize, look again into the river, from Rio Hondo to Starstoon, from Macau to Belize. Line the fathers who tend to their fields to dress their hopes in education and dreams. Line the officers in suit in pursuit of the wolves in sheep's clothing. Line the leaders who take from their empty pockets to give to empty stomachs. Oh, my hope of Belize, look again into the river, my child, from Rio Hondo to Starstoon, from Macau to Belize. The mothers and the fathers, the officers in suit, line the leaders of today. That is the reflection that you see. So I can be the hope of Belize. You are the hope of Belize. Promise to serve Belize as faithfully as you can. Thank you.
My name is Melbourne McLaren. I'm a second form student at Eden SDA High School. Today I will be reciting a poem entitled Black Lives Matter, I'm Here by Ronnie J. Guest Jr. I've been told I have a voice, yet I'm seen and not heard. My life is a gift and I'm more than just words. I'm taught there's nothing to fear but fear itself. Yet I fear my actions, my thoughts, my words, my voice are placed on a shelf. I'm not you, and you are not me. One day you can't walk in my shoes and see the pain I endure, but I'll never quit. As you know, because I know through the perseverance, I will get a chance to see me without negative chatter. As you see, I am black man, and my life matters. I've been a subject of discrimination in this space they call a free nation. I still feel the land of the free and the home of the brave. As a black man, I feel isolation. For 400 years, we scratch and crawl from a system that has been long flawed. No longer will I be silent while my people die. I will raise my voice as long as I'm still alive. Alive, I will spearhead change without negative chatter. I'm a black man, and Black Lives Matter. Don't judge this book you see by its cover. There's more to me than just my color. I've been told I have a voice, yet I'm not to be seen and not heard. No longer will I stand here and believe my words. I'm raising up. My voice will now be heard. Thank you.
My name is Shamira Hernandez, and I'm a third former from St. Ignatius High School. My poem is entitled Depression by Anonymous. Depression is a war, a battle against yourself. Every thought is a bullet. Every movement is a punch. Every word is a stab in the heart. Depression is a thief. It steals everything you once had. Everything left behind is the things that keep you trapped. Depression is a murder. It killed the girl I used to be. I look in the mirror and I see this thing. Depression is a zombie. You're alive, but you're dead. You're dead. You're unaware of what's happening. You're the walking dead. Depression is a nightmare. You wake up into hell. You're afraid of living. Everything seems impossible to bear. Depression is an ocean, a sea of emotion. You're drowning every day, but however, you're never saved. Depression is a bottomless pit, never-ending pain, never-ending struggle. There is no light, there is no escape. Depression is a war, a constant battle within yourself. I think I might surrender, for I had enough. A depression is a war. You either win or die trying, and I'm afraid to say I'm losing. Thank you.
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship?
Service about self. I believe that service about self means helping somebody else before you help yourself. This could be something as small as offering somebody else the first slice out of a box of chocolate before yourself.
Thank you, Rotary, for giving us the great theme of service above self.
Thank you, Rotary, for your great community service activities. Thank you, Rotary, for holding the Voice of the West competition.
Service about self.
Thank you for your service to the community.
Thank you for Forwarders and the Voice of the West competition.
Thank you so very much, Rotary Club from Olog. Big love, Olog.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship?
Hello from Belmopan, our nation's capital. I am Matthew Hans, president of the Rotary Club of Belmopan. I have been a Rotarian for 18 years. Our final category is persuasive speech. We have 6 students in this category. Their goal is to persuade the audience to their opinion with their speech. Each student has 4 minutes to complete their performance. Thanks very much for joining us tonight. Stay tuned for the announcement of the first, second, and third place winner and the awarding of the trophies for their high schools.
My name is Janina Chiak. I am in 3rd form and attending the Belmopan Methodist High School. Empowerment of women and girls. I can only think of one word when I hear empowerment, and that word is power. For me, empowering women and girls entails changing our attitudes, our thoughts, and structured system and mindset towards women and girls in order to eliminate the stigma we face. Women and girls were not just intended to cook, clean, and bear children. We have also been created to make a difference and bring about change when things aren't going right. Women should not only work for others, but also run their own businesses. Many men have always wanted to dominate women in all those phases of life, excluding household responsibilities. Many men have been raised to think that they are only required to work outside the house, and women always required to work inside the house, but that's definitely not true. Many women have felt powerless in their lives as a result of society. They have been abused, mistreated, and even been made to feel like idiots. But wait, when we try to speak up for ourselves, we are told we are insane and we have been accused of being bitter. We are now living in a time where women are feeling empowered to stand up, to speak up, and break the silence and discrimination that has blackened our lives for so many generations. Women must be invited to sit at the same table as men. They must be invited to offer their perspective because it is not only men who live and should continue to develop in this world. Women, like males, need to be given a microphone to express themselves and communicate what's on their minds. If this is impossible to achieve, then allow us to build our own table and do not silence us when we are sharing our thoughts. Let us be allowed to build our own empire and create our own legacy. Like Ruth Bader Ginsburg says, women belong in all places where decisions are made. It shouldn't be that women are the exception. For the men in our country who choose to ignore the potential of women, better start believing that women can offer just as much to our country as you can, and possibly even more. I can assure you, no one can stop this country from becoming a developed country if women are given equal rights to men. So women, let us not allow society to define who we are because we are women. Let us become the engineers, architects, electricians, and earth-shaking mountain movers that we want and intend to be. Let us empower women and girls today.
Hi, my name is Rodrigo Ruiz. I am from Our Lady of Guadalupe, and I am in third form. Diseases are never a good thing. Once you have them, they may or may not be cured, so why take the risk? Why suffer down the road? We can always take the other path, and that other path is to prevent getting infected in the first place. Some diseases are easy enough to avoid with basic everyday knowledge, such as washing your hands, showering regularly, keeping clean. But some of the bigger diseases require vaccines, such as polio, tetanus, hepatitis A and B, measles, and so on. Common sense will also take you a long way, so it's important to at least get primary education. Don't be sticking your hands in garbage bins for any reason. If you drop something in the bin that needs to be retrieved, wear gloves first because you have no idea what bacteria or virus could be lurking in there. God forbid you get stabbed by a used needle in said bin. Also, try your best to stay away from any bad habits because bad habits can lead to addiction. And once you are hooked to an addiction, getting out becomes a nearly impossible task. And bad addictions can lead to another rabbit hole of diseases. One example of an addiction could be having sexual intercourse with random strangers. This is not the way. Get to know them first or wait until marriage like a good Christian. Misuses of drugs can also fall under addiction. An important aspect of preventing disease is staying physically healthy, which I personally think is what gets most people, because no matter how many times you repeat it, it is way easier said than done. But we need to be eating healthy, staying hydrated, resting, and exercising. That last one is especially hard, unless you naturally enjoy it, of course, which would be perfect. Remaining mentally healthy is important too. Being in depressed states could get you seriously ill. I would recommend trying to stay mentally healthy on your own discipline as best as you can, so no one can manipulate you at your weakest point. But if you really do need the help, then talk to the people closest to you or those who want to listen to you and that you truly trust. I also wouldn't recommend spending money on antidepressants and therapists if you're experiencing financial problems, because you'll be worse than how you started with. It's like fighting fire with flames. Additionally, don't be participating or pressured to be participating into activities that don't bring any feeling of accomplishment to you and only cause you stress and pain. You're just slowly killing yourself for nothing at that point. Now, going back to physical healthiness, try to build your immune system naturally through drinking teas or eating fruits. Don't just depend on drugs. And with COVID-19 aside, wearing masks is a good practice that lowers the risk of flu-related diseases and isn't too much of a hassle once you get used to it. And additionally, get your priorities straight. Focus your budget on the more important things in life instead of just guilty pleasures. Learning to cook can be beneficial towards health. You don't want to be eating undercooked meals that lead to life-threatening diseases. Always make sure to carry bug spray because you never know when you need it. Vector-borne diseases are no joke. Unfortunately, some diseases cannot be prevented and are inevitable due to family genes or other genetic causes, which is more of a reason to prevent as many diseases as possible so it doesn't stack up, making you live hell on earth for life. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Emily Sosa, fourth form student at Our Lady of Mount Carmel High School. And today I'm here to talk to you about service above self. Dave, the most selfish man alive, was taken to court, and oddly enough, he was given a choice. Would you rather for the people of this town to either only serve themselves or only serve others for the rest of your lives? Everyone thought his spirit had changed since he chose to only serve others, but he explained, if I choose to only serve others, there will be one person serving me. But if I choose for us to serve others, there will be a whole village at my feet. His heart was stone, and he was sentenced to death. In the last 4 years, while I've been in high school, I've not only read and studied different ethical claims about human activity, but have also been hands-on in part of different service groups and non-governmental organizations, such as UNICEF and Rotary, to help put service above self. Now itself, service above self, is the official motto adopted by Rotary International, which signifies the belief that Rotarians would put their belief to help others before their own needs. However, why should only a group of people live by this? Why don't we also put service above ourselves? Unfortunately, our world has been filled with Daves. We either don't serve or only serve others for our own benefit. This has to stop. Regardless of who you are or where you come from, we can serve the world. We can serve the world through our ideas, our volunteering, and our time. Take these people, for example. Mother Teresa served over 213 different countries worldwide. Shakar Mehta pioneered a program that has performed over 1,500 life-changing surgeries. Now, understandably, we can't all stop and serve the world, but we can still serve in our communities and in our society. There is a social contract theory by English philosophers Thomas Hobbes and John Locke, and the French philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau. This theory argues that we live together in a society in accordance with an agreement that establishes both moral and political rules of behavior. This means just as you have been given the privilege to live freely and have rights, you also have a set of rules and responsibilities to follow, one of which includes service above self. Now, sadly, a lot of people argue that these people who need the service should just go get a job, get an education. You asked for it. Stop wasting my time. Stop wasting your time. Regardless of how these mitigations may arise, we should remember that in a stagnant economy, there are few opportunities for advancement. These people, families, and young adults who form families are uneducated and can't provide for their families even if they wanted to get a job. This means their children, their pets, the people they are responsible for have no choice but to start from zero and suffer something they didn't ask for. Wouldn't you want what we can give if you were helpless? Serve others. Our community, our society, our world needs you. Give the world some sass. Service above self. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mary Juan, third form student at Mount Carmel High School. Today I will be doing a persuasive speech on basic education and literacy. Basic education and literacy. What is it? Basic education is the knowledge and skills needed to participate in the economy, and literacy is the ability to read and write. Now I want you to take both of your hands and place them above your eyes. Move your fingers a little bit. Can still see a little bit, right? But the vision is still mostly obscured. That's what missing these skills does to you. It makes you miss the whole picture in our world. That's why these skills are important. We use these skills in our daily lives in insignificant situations like reading our phone icons, to more important things like reading our medical prescriptions. If these skills are so important, shouldn't we try to ensure that everyone has them? This is not the case though. According to Rotary International, 250 million children can't read and write after 4 years of primary schooling. Something like this means that in a classroom of 30 primary school children, 5 can't read and write. This is troubling as they will not be able to have as many opportunities as the rest of their classmates. This is unfair that those 5 will not be able to further advance because they are at a disadvantage. Having access to basic education and literacy lowers unemployment, people in poverty, and exploitation. In a country where it's believed that being under shade of education is able to get you out of poverty and get a real life for many, this is not the case. If it were the case, then opportunities would be opened up for many that need it. These skills would open up the doors of success. Literacy is a hope for those at the bottom of society. It is a necessity for one's struggle for a better life. So the question is, how can we get these 250 million children reading? How can we solve these problems? As an individual, as educators, as a government, as a society as a whole? This can be done by supporting and investing more in organizations such as Pathlight that already have programs set up for young children to start learning to read, and teaching programs for teachers to teach these necessary skills to children that need it. One of the many helpful programs that they have, Reading Naturally, assesses a student's level, so the teachers may more or less know at which level that student is on, so that they can help the students that are on a lower level reach the level they need to be on. So how can you get the ball rolling? Let's start by building a culture of reading beliefs by working together as individuals. It is often said that education starts at home. Maybe, for this reason, older siblings or parents can take 20 minutes of their time to just sit down and read. Schools can further implement this by having reading programs and reading assessments for the students to more or less know on which level they're on. After all, it takes a whole community to raise a child. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ethan Landero. I am a third farm student representing Eden Seventh-day Adventist High School with a speech. Serve to change lives. The world around us is rapidly changing. Most is negative as we hear of wars, deaths, and unjustness on the rise. Where is the change politicians promise? Where? We hear and wait on their promises just to be slapped like awoken to reality that nothing is going to happen. That is why we should not depend on mortal. We should depend on God. With His help, we can be the change we want to see. With His help, it doesn't matter if you're old or young. Be the change you want to see. It all starts with us. Have the heart of a warrior, willing to defend the poor and needy, with that burning desire of heart. But you may ask, what are we to do? How can we change our community and our country? The answer, by serving others. The greatest heroes of science and heroes of others from around the world have one thing in common. They all did something to see a change and to serve others. One of the greatest physicists and scientists, Albert Einstein, said, and I quote, "Only a life on the service of others is worth living," end of quote. So I encourage you, let's serve others, not for our own benefit or selfish desires of pride, but to see a change. Don't wait for tomorrow to come. Start today. Today is a day to make a stand and do what's right. A quote by John Hage states, and I quote, "A man's greatness is not the number of servants he has, but the number of people he serves," end of quote. To be great, we need to be humble. To see a change, we need to serve. Let's all do what we know is right. Together, we can make a positive impact by serving others. But everything starts with us. At home, at school, at work. Our actions are what reflect who we are. And if our actions are not of service, how can we expect that there to be a change in our community and in our government and our country? If we are not honest, how can we expect honesty from our community and the government? Change does not only involve will, but action as well. We have good intentions, but if we don't put them into practice, we do nothing. I challenge you all today, join me in serving others to see a change, to change our country, and to change our world. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maldonado Hector. I'm in fourth form, and I am representing St. Ignatius High School. My speech is entitled Education and Literacy. Learning, or the acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, morals, beliefs, habits, and personal development is facilitated by education. Education first began as a means of passing on cultural knowledge from one generation to another. In present world, proper education is given to students at a specific place called a school. Basic education includes the two phases of primary and lower secondary education. The psychomotor skill of reading and writing is transmitted through education. According to the World Bank's collection of development indicators derived from officially recognized sources, Belize's adult total literacy rate was 82.78% in 2015. In comparing Belize's literacy rate to first world countries' statistics, we can observe a mediocre rate of literacy. Comparing a Caribbean country such as Cuba, we can see a chasm of 16.93%. Advanced countries of the first world level have been seen to tackle education as one of their major goals. Why is Belize then still at an inferior level of literacy? Is it because of the parents, the students, the income rate, and the possibility to educate a child? In my opinion, our country still has many individuals that believe in myths of education. There is this common myth to which adults grapple themselves from. If the progenitor is not educated, by no means should the offspring be more educated than him or her. To me, this is a ludicrous statement. Parents should exert their children to higher standards of education. They should seek the well-being of their children's future. Benjamin Franklin once said, "By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail." And now, I exhort you by saying that if you fail to educate your child, you fail to educate yourself, your community, and your country. As a country, we should pursue to take our reputation from a third world country we are to a first world country's notoriety. This can be done by building strong interest in education. Education is a key to mastery. With education, we can adjust flaws in our society, flaws such as corruption that can be seen in our leaders and culture. We should embrace education as an essential element of our lives. A senior once told me, "Study with all the intensity possible, because pen and paper are lighter than a machete or any other implement." This does not mean that hard work is not as valuable as work done in office or sub umbra. This means that education has been taking over experience. There was this period of time when the Ministry of Education said that a person could no longer be a teacher if he or she did not have at least an associate's degree. Don't you think that in a future not far from now, even sweepers would have to have some type of degree in order to sweep? We're seeing the beginning of an era where education is gradually taking over experience. Job places no longer want to see a resume filled with experience. They rather prefer resumes that are filled with educational degrees and diplomas. We're in desperate need of enforcing education. Let's aim for the infinite and not the finite. Let's educate our children. Overcome your limits that have been imposed by myths. Open your wings to a new spring. Open your mind to changes. Become the best version of yourself. Education is like your passport or license to greatness, to a better future, to the rise of new dreams and aspirations, but the most important, a step to development.
BECOL was originally formed to develop and manage the hydroelectric potential of the Macal River in western Belize. Since then, Belize has been powered by primarily renewable sources, namely hydro. With our plants located in Belize's largest protected areas, we are very aware of our obligation to operate in an environmentally responsible manner. We have invested significant resources in monitoring programs to ensure that our operations are not adversely affecting the environment. We look forward to our continued partnership with environmental stakeholders towards the protection of Belize's most valuable asset, its natural resources. BECOL, providing Belize with clean and renewable energy for many years to come.
Hello from beautiful Cayo. I'm Isaura Williams, the head judge for 28th Annual Voice of the West. We are so proud of the students' performance tonight. We know teachers, family, and friends helped the students participate in this event. Thank you all. And now, to announce the winners for the original poem category. Third place hails from Belmopan Baptist High School, no other than Sherlene Gomez. She wins a total of $100. Second place is Elijah Jimenez, fourth form Alvin L. Young Nazarene High School, winning $200. And coming in first place, no other than Irene Gongora, third form Our Lady of Mount Carmel High School, winning $300. The winning high school for this category is Our Lady of Mount Carmel High School. And we present this beautiful trophy for our first place high school. Thank you.
I'm Deborah Mencias Macmillan. For the published poem or excerpt category, in third place is Dyson Cartagena, second form student from Belmopan Comprehensive High School, and he wins $100. Second place is Adriani Henry, a first form student of Our Lady of Guadalupe High School, and she wins $200. And coming in first place is Ivy Marie Herbert, second form student from Alvin L. Young Nazarene High School, and she wins $300. The winning high school for this category is Alvin L. Young Nazarene High School, and here is their trophy.
Hi, I'm Kerm Timbrell. For the persuasive speech category, in third place is Ethan Landero. He's a third form student from Eden SDA High School, winning $100. Yay, you go, Ethan. Now, second place is Janina Chiak. She's a third form student from the Belmopan Methodist High School, winning $200. And finally, coming in first place is no other than Emily Sosa. Emily, you rock, girl. She's a fourth form student of Our Lady of Mount Carmel High School, winning $300. So, the winning high school for this category is Our Lady of Mount Carmel High School from beautiful Benquevejo del Carmen. So let's give it up for them, all right? And we got a special trophy here that they are going to be receiving for this award. Rotarians will be heading to the winning schools tomorrow to deliver the prize money and trophies to the students, winners, and their high schools.
Big congratulations
to all
the participants.
Now, up next, we're going to be having Miss Anna Recinos to give you all the thanks.
I am Anna Racina Smith, the President-elect of Rotary Club of Belmopan. I have been a Rotarian for 17 years. Thank you for joining us tonight for the 20th Annual Voice of the West competition for the Cayo School students in Cayo. As you have seen, we have many young people who are shining light in Belize future. If you are interested in getting copies of the work the students have shared, please contact the Rotary Club of San Ignacio, and we'll reach out to the schools with the request. We want to thank these amazing students, their parents, their teachers, and friends. Thank you to our judges, Ms. Isaura Williams, Ms. Deborah McMillan, and Mr. Carm Timbert, for taking time off their schedule to help us with these events. Their service is greatly appreciated. We could not have delivered this event without the generous partnership with the national channel TNC Channel 10. They're great technicians and editors, and provides a way for sharing this event with a larger international audience. Thank you very much. A big thanks to the Drift Inn in Santa Elena for donating the space needed to record the students. We appreciate Pathlight International for the use of their space in Belmopan. I would also like to acknowledge the Rotarians from the 3 Cayo clubs in Benque, San Ignacio, and Belmopan for their assistance in contacting schools, arranging transportation, and helping make this pandemic version of Voice of the West a great showcase for our students and their talent. And finally, this competition was sponsored by BICO, and we are grateful for their financial support of the students' cash prizes. We are thankful for BICO commitment to serving the people of Belize. For now, we're going to finalize with our 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Is it